It's the hot show, and I don't know how it's gonna go. It's the hot show, and I can't guess what's gonna happen next. So come on and join in. Let's do the hot show. Hello, and welcome to the hot show. I'm Hot the Cat, here to welcome you to another episode of the hot show. Thank you so much for watching. If you ever see this, it's a beautiful warm day today. It's evening now where I am, but maybe it's day where you are. Hope it's beautiful there also. Yesterday, or last episode of the hot show, it's a couple weeks ago in my time, but if you're watching this, who knows? But we ate some food on the last episode. And this week we're gonna follow the consequences of that, eating food. Without further ado, I think we should bring on some of our friends. Nope, I just instead of adding you, I removed you. Nope. Oh.
Hello, Hot the Cat.
Hi, Shelton. How's it going?
It's going well today.
That's good. I like your shirt.
Thank you. It's a new shirt, and I'm excited to wear it.
I feel like it provides a nice compliment to my red fur.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So we also got a friend that I believe is a friend we know, but I don't know if we've ever met this friend exactly. Corny McPeanut, welcome to the show.
Hello, Corny McPeanut.
Hello, it's good to be here.
Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. I like your cool glasses.
Yeah, I like
Thank you.
those as well.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're blue blockers.
Huh.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool. Because blue, the opposite of blue in light is yellow. For those who didn't know.
Yeah.
Seems like both of you knew that already.
I would say that I knew it in a sort of like uh, cursory sort of way, not directly.
Ah,
Now, uh, Corny, you I believe are a uh, traveling corn, a traveling McPeanut. Where are you today?
I'm sorry, one more time?
where you at, boy?
Thank you. Where are you?
Where
Oh, I am
you?
Mohall, North Dakota. There's
Oh,
Mohall's water tower right behind me.
nice.
Ooh.
Very nice.
I like that the hotel there is very long. Since I'm vertical, it's harder to.
Yeah.
Eep.
Yeah, the water tower there is very long.
Well, anyway, I don't know if you can hear me. My connection seems to be pretty lousy. But I am currently unloading a bunch of big brown boxes. So I'm gonna real quick finish that up, and I'll be right back with you.
All right,
Oh.
sounds good.
Well, one might say that we're about to talk about unloading big brown boxes.
Yeah. You may.
That's why I said what I said.
Now, Corny, just to address something real quick, you are coming in, at least to me, perfectly fine. So I hope you can hear us well.
Yeah, I can hear Corny McPeanut pretty well.
That's good.
I almost
Good.
wish I had a headset. I could say, coming in good.
Loud and clear, good buddy.
That's the word that I couldn't think of. Loud and clear.
So I was expressing a little bit that this is going to be an interesting episode, I think. We're going to be talking about something that I would say is not usually talked about. Would you agree with that?
I would say that I am not someone who subscribes to things that are talked and or not talked about. And my long explanation is that I had a mom that was a nurse and a dad that was a construction worker. So there are a few things that were off the table that were not on our conversation board when I was a kid.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying there. But I guess I'm speaking less about the person, like personally, and more like on the societal level,
Yeah,
cultural level.
I would say that there are two types of people. There are people that can talk about poop, and there are people who cannot talk about poop. And I am the kind of person who can talk about poop.
I would say I can, but generally I don't. Uh, I mean, like, it's not like, I think for me, talking about poop, like, in of itself, like, isn't really a big deal. But I'm very sensitive to how it can affect other people.
I think that part of my brain is just missing or something.
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of curious. Like, as we potentially have some more friends, or people watching, or maybe people kind of coming in and out of this show. Um, I'm gonna be interested to see what other people's like levels of comfort are uh, with this subject of poop.
Well, it's also pretty interesting that these variations are different throughout the world. Some people in certain areas of the world um, can talk about it. Some areas they don't. But while I was doing some research, I found out a lot of information about poop that is more political than you might think, and it's more just like that, like the access to clean water and plumbing is something that a lot of people take for granted, and it actually leads to a lot of like deaths each year. I think I have a hot fact.
Oh, yeah, coming in.
Okay, so this is from the World Health Organization. About 842,000 people die every year due to inadequate water, sanitation, and hygiene in low and middle income countries, according to the World Health Organization. The WHO estimates that 280,000 of these deaths are caused by poor sanitation, which I found pretty interesting because I think it's something that we take for granted and we don't necessarily talk about. But in other places, sometimes people have to poop in front of each other and right into their water supply. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to think of whether they talk about it more or less because of that.
Yeah, if like you live in it, like, I mean, you probably do talk about it more, or at least more comfortable talking about it. But I don't know. Also, maybe not, because like, I don't know. That I feel like what you're getting at also is like, um, besides addressing like the kind of privilege that we have here in uh, the United States for our pooping needs. Like,
poop privately means that you probably don't have to have a lot of conversations about it.
Right. But like, I feel like also there's like an aspect there of like striations in like societal norms and stuff, where like uh, maybe even often from just wealth and stuff. Uh, there are people who are going to be like very private poopers because they have like a whole like infrastructure around that and everything, and then like people who like don't have very many resources that really don't have access uh, to their, I don't know, to address their pooping needs, and like also therefore like are thinking and speaking about it differently.
Yeah, definitely. There's also different mechanisms around the world that we provide for our services for going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
If I also like that there's a lot of euphemisms for going to the bathroom. Going number 2.
Taking a shit. Not so much a euphemism.
I think it's funny that we say taking a shit versus leaving a shit. You know?
Yeah, you're getting something out of it.
I think about this a lot. I think it's odd to me that we say that you are taking a shit versus leaving a shit, because you leave a shit behind.
I think what it is that you're taking the time to shit.
I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah, because like it's like taking a break. Like I'm taking time to like out of my day to do this. Like I'm gonna go take myself over there and shit.
You know, that makes sense, and I feel a certain calm about me.
Oh man, I'm glad already. We're only 16 minutes in. We've already achieved a level of calm. Nice.
Do you know that that Elvis Presley, when he died with around 16 pounds of fecal matter inside of his bowels.
Is that
I have to double check. I think it might be. I'm
I
pretty
guess
sure.
I'm curious, like, what's the average if when someone dies?
That's a good question. I think he was super, like, he was on a lot of drugs when he died.
Right. I understand that. Like, I'm assuming that he was above average by a lot, but I guess I just don't know what like what's a normal level of fecal matter to have inside you at any moment.
That's a good question. Oh, it was much more than I anticipated. His colon weighed 45 pounds when he died.
45
A lot.
But
now I don't know the average, so.
But that's not just
like. But does that include the weight of the colon or just the contents?
Right. I'm gonna look up. Okay, it said 30 pounds of feces total, but it says that his colon weighed 45 pounds. So I'm guessing that the colon weighs maybe 10 pounds.
15 maybe, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 15. All right, well, 2 separate articles, new information.
Well, he had like 30 pounds of fecal matter.
That's a lot. It seems like. I don't know.
But like, I don't know. Yeah, let's check it out.
How many pounds of poop are in your body? According to the Center of Disease Control, the CDC, the average man in the U.S. weighs 195.7 pounds, and the average woman weighs 168.5 pounds. This means a man of average weight produces about 1 pound of poop, and a woman of average weight, about 14 ounces of poop per day. So it seems like Elvis had quite a bit. I don't know if that's like how much is in your. I don't know how much is trapped in your body.
Right, exactly.
Depending on your height, age, and diet.
I like how you use the word trapped.
Huh? Trapped?
I like that you use the word trapped.
I mean, I guess because you think of it as something that gets produced within your body, that I think for me, I'm mostly focused on it exiting the body. The fact that it exists inside my body as what it is seems odd to me.
Have you? This is a question, I guess, for both of you. But have you given much thought in your life to the poop that is inside of you? Like,
No.
Is this like a new thing that you're thinking about?
Yeah, and it's oddly making me uncomfortable. However, I did find our fact.
Oh, great.
7 to 10 pounds in your intestines, depending on your height, age, diet, and when and where. You are in your digestive tract.
Right.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that you can tell about your health from your fecal matter. Corny McPeanut just disappeared and then moved to another side of the screen.
Yeah, and then started moving around this big pile of boxes,
Yeah.
which keep teleporting.
Yeah. I didn't realize that Corny McPeanut could time travel.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, to be honest.
Hmm.
If only he could go back and help Elvis and his poop problem.
Hmm. Have you ever seen the movie Austin Powers?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of time. To be honest.
There's a scene where Dr. Evil's son says, like, they have this elaborate plan for going back in time to, like, kill Austin Powers because Dr. Evil, that's his nemesis. And he says, like, why wouldn't you just go back in time to a time when he's, like, taking it, dropping the kids off at the pool, taking a dump. There's so many different ways to say it. And just kill him when he's pooping, because that would be an opportune time. And that would make sense because, you know, it's a vulnerable time and it's probably not a place where you would bring like weapon. So yeah. I don't know.
Man, we just unfortunately dropped that Corny McPeanut. Which I think could be its own euphemism.
Corny I also discovered this week, because I got really fascinated because I knew we were going to be talking about poop, that like another scene in Austin Powers is when the character Fat Bastard looks at his fecal matter in a toilet and says, "I didn't eat any corn." And then proceeds to talk about it, which I remember as a kid being fascinated by, and why it is that it goes through your entire body and how it is that you get any nutrients from it. So my mom was a nurse and explained this to me in detail as a kid, but I had forgotten all of that until I Googled this week. And it turns out that you do actually get the nutrients from corn. But the outer layer on the outside of the corn is what your body can't digest. It's also what's on the outside of beans. So it's like that thick layer, but you still get what's inside. But the more that you chew, the more nutrients you actually get, which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The more you chew.
The more you chew.
I like it to chew.
There's like a dieting technique that I can't remember what celebrity did, but it was like a psychological thing where you had to chew your food like 40 bites before you ate, which seemed like a lot.
Certainly not Elvis.
Certainly not Elvis.
I've heard that this is maybe taking us a little off subject.
Okay.
But I've heard that it's really only somewhat recently that a really easily eatable corn variety has become widespread. That for thousands of years, a lot of corn was, you had to chew it a lot because it was a little bit like harder to chew. And so like the way that people's mouths were formed were better for that kind of like just chewing. And you can actually kind of see that in the way that different groups of people around the world, like features that they have to do with like the kinds of foods that their ancestors ate.
Well, corn is basically domesticated from a type of grass.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is.
Which is interesting. And then one thing that's interesting to me talking about corn is there are a lot of
We said corn.
indigenous people who
Go ahead.
turn corn into hominy, which is like a process. I think it's treated with like a lye or something. And I think that makes it more digestible.
Oh, that's interesting. Kind of like maybe like breaking it down a little bit before you eat it.
That's why they always include your teeth in the digestive system. And there's also like lots of acids and stuff like in your mouth. Do you know that dogs have more acids, like acidity in their mouth, and it allows them to eat more that we can, and that they can eat more disgusting stuff because their saliva can break down more than ours does. It keeps them safe.
Like when they eat poop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Also, most carnivores have a much shorter digestive tract. Their intestines are a much shorter length. So the amount of time that something that might be foul is inside them is much shorter.
Huh. That's fascinating.
The more you chew.
I think that we're lucky that we're a species that can control their sphincters. I had a pet bird, and I also have a guinea pig, and they really can't control when or where they poop. So I had bird shit all over me all the time when I had a pet bird when it flew around my house.
Have either of you ever been like shit on by a bird just walking around, like outside?
Yes. Would you like to hear a little tune about it?
You have a little tune about it?
Yeah. My aunt told me this. I might have shared this before, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Can I get like a just like a nice little like chippity tone? I don't know.
A little chippity tone?
I don't know, just like light and like
A karate chop set.
that works. A little birdie in oh, little birdie in the sky, drop some dookie in my eye. I won't fret and I won't cry, 'cause I'm just glad that elephants don't fly.
That's cute.
It is. My aunt told me that, and I feel like, yeah, that'd be real rough if there were animals that were like. I always think about like if different kinds of dinosaurs, like the flying ones, like pterodactyls and stuff. Like, I can't imagine. I don't know if they could control their sphincters, but it would probably really suck to like to be like killed by a giant poop like coming from a pterodactyl and then just washing it.
Well, like I feel like a lot of those bird poops are pretty like light. Like they just kind of like spread out in the air, and like I'd be surprised unless you're like a bug or something. I don't know if you're really killed.
If you drop a dime from the top of the Sears Tower, it would kill someone all the way at the bottom. So I'm thinking like how high a pterodactyl would fly.
What I'm saying is that by the time that pterodactyl poop gets down to the bottom, it's become too dispersed and light. Like a penny stays very compact the whole way. So I think the poop's spreading out too much. Unless it's like it's really got a hard poop coming.
Yeah.
It's a hard poop coming.
Man, that would stink to like you like if you could time travel and you like go back to like the like ancient times, and then you have to explain like what they died from, and then you come back as their like partner in crime, and you have to like tell their partner who's just sitting there grieving, like, oh no, like what happened? Did they save the planet? And they're like, no. A pterodactyl poop got him. It should be kind of clever.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of true of any poop-related deaths. Like,
I mean, it seems like there's a lot. Honestly, that sad fact really like messed me up earlier. I was like, that's a lot of poop-related death.
but as you were kind of mentioning earlier, like somebody who is kind of more immersed in the poop world, like by necessity, by just kind of like not having the alternative of having so many private poops.
Yeah.
Like they might not be as comfortable, like as maybe surprised or as like disturbed by like somebody having a poop related death.
Yeah.
Like I feel like somebody who like has only had private poops basically their whole life, except for when they're a child, you know, and they had a poop related death. I feel like the culture around them would be much more worried, like and concerned by that, and kind of.
I feel like part of me would have a hard time. Like, I would hope that if it was me who passed, that like, and because I didn't pass, you know, like, I don't know. I would hope that people would make jokes because I feel like that's the best way to get through grief sometimes. Maybe I'm just being goofy. But
No, I feel. I mean, I agree. Like, I mean, that I feel like I would want people to have an appreciation of how silly it was.
yeah.
You know? Like, I don't know.
Like, of all the dumb things that I've done in my life, like, this is the thing that got me.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to thank Amy's colon for bringing us all together.
I don't know if I would start the eulogy that way. You know, that's like maybe like at the wake with a select group of people.
Yeah. I don't know. The Sheltons are a goofy bunch.
I'll remember that though in case this situation ever comes up. I will. If this situation ever comes up, I vow right now to start your eulogy that way. Oh, wait, let me do the other hand.
Can I do that back? No, just kidding. Man, yeah. I'll elaborate a little bit more about like the socialization of my family. Like I have 2 sisters and a mom, and my mom's a nurse, and now my older sister is a nurse. But we're pretty comfortable talking about poop at the dinner table. And my dad used to just sit at the end, like poop, farts, anything, like periods, anything that's gross, like was just like normal conversation in my house. And my dad would just sit there like this, like at the end of the dinner table. Like, why do you guys have to talk about poop everywhere? We would have this thing where we would say like, oh, like if the president was at this dinner table, would you guys be talking about this? And I'm sure that's pretty normal in most households. But when I was in 2nd grade, I remember I went over to my friend Jennifer's house, and her family does not talk about poop at the dinner table. And then I realized for the first time that most families don't talk about poop at the dinner table. And it was kind of odd to me for that realization. Like, and then they asked me, if we do talk about poop. And I was like, yeah, we talk about poop, we talk about farts, we talk about our funny farts. I would love to host like a celebrity, like kind of like Hot Ones, but like you just talk about like your. I would love to at some point interview every celebrity and ask them their most embarrassing poop story. And I'm going to tell you why.
I mean, I'd love to hear, but like, I feel like, as we, I think maybe touched on our Hot Ones episode that we did, that like one of the things that's great about Hot Ones is that like all of these people, if they go on like a late night show or something, like there's it's it's like a gig that they're doing. Like there's always like they're playing a character of themselves. Like it's not really real. And on Hot Ones, for almost every single guest, there's always a moment where that veneer breaks down and you see a real person dealing with a real situation. And I feel like your poop idea uh, would do that same thing. Like it would be someone kind of having to like, oh wait, deal with this. Like, oh wait, this is like I can't like maintain that like character and do this at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like it's like something that's interesting to me because it like breaks down like so I was gonna wait till later to talk about this, but at one point in my college like experience, like I'm a portrait photographer for the most part. Like what I mostly do is take portraits of people, and it's something that I like doing. And I make other photographs, but I think that my portraits of like people are the most interesting. And I think you have to create a space like almost the way that a therapist does. Like you have to create a space that's comfortable for people where they can express and be themselves and like their whole authentic selves. Um, which like I think the best portrait photographers are just people that are good talking to people. Um, and we were asked to make uh, make a photograph that hasn't been made before, and I thought to myself like, how could I do that with portraiture? And I was thinking to myself like, man, like ideally, like I would love to like I don't know. It was just so I took these like really great photos of all my friends like going to the bathroom. And when people hear about this, they're like, "You did what? That's so weird." And then like I'll pull out. I have a couple of them. I'll like pull out. See if I wish I could have shared more of these, but they're mostly like film and like really um like nice lighting, like gorgeous like black and white prints, but
I will say that I think these uh, pictures is actually the first like my introduction to you as a human.
I love that. That just makes me so happy. I'll share two of them because these are the only two that I think these are the only two that are currently in this folder. But this one's my favorite one. These were made in the dark room with like fine art, like dodging and burning. But this is my friend Manu after a long day at work, taking a poop.
It's great.
And then this one is a self-portrait with a friend that used to always join me when I was in the bathroom, and at first it made me uncomfortable. And it really bothered me that this was the one place that I could like go and be alone. But this pet insisted on pooping with me, which is what made me think to take these pictures. So yeah, I think the idea that like my friend, some of these people like trusted me enough to sit there and have a conversation with me in like this vulnerable moment was kind of interesting, and it definitely like made me a better photographer. As much as at the time I was like, this is kind of weird that I'm doing this, but like I'm honored to have this like these really cool photos because I got the chance to sit there and talk with my friends. And like you can't hide who you are. Every single person in this world poops, like, and everybody's got an embarrassing poop story, like whether it's from when you're 10 years old. And like there's one of a like a really, I think it was one of the Evans brothers like talking about his pooping his pants when he was on a ski trip, and he not only pooped his pants once, he pooped his pants twice. So then he was just in his snow pants, and then he couldn't make it to the car, and he pooped again. And he's just really hot, so I feel like it's sometimes like, you know, nice to know that no matter how hot and intimidating somebody might seem, they also take shits.
I feel like one of the most humanizing things that I've ever heard is that the idea that even the Queen of England sometimes gets poop on her hands. Like, it happens to everyone. It's
I don't know
like,
why it sounds gross to me. like on your hands.
well, but it happens, right? Like
I guess you're right.
Like sometimes, like obviously you're trying your best to not let it happen, but like sometimes shit happens, you know, like, and it happens to literally every human.
Yeah. And when you're a baby, like I didn't think about, this was another thing I wrote down on like a list of things. I was hoping there would be more guests, and if there's anybody in the comment section, please feel free to add this. How do you spell diarrhea?
Well, I spelled it in a way when I was typing out the lyrics to my song. I typed it out in a way that my spell check did not correct it.
Yeah, which is interesting because I was like talking to my sister, and my sister is a new mom, and I feel like a lot of new moms can spell diarrhea, no matter like, because they end up talking about poop a lot, and it's just something that's very humanizing because as like moms who change diapers, like there's a lot that like their kids poop can tell them. So I texted my sister and I said like, hey, is there a chart that like can tell you whether like what's like wrong with your kid? And it can be entirely like, there's a color chart and like a texture chart that like I found some really interesting illustrations that were just like I don't know, it was funny because like you have to find a way to like describe these things without showing them, in the same way that like somebody might like have to do an anatomical drawing or something instead of like something that's inside your body that once it leaves your body seems gross. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I was also expecting some more people to be here. Some people had mentioned earlier on, like over the past week or so, like that they were planning on being here tonight, and I kind of feel like some of them have chickened out or something. Uh, it's yeah, I don't know. Like I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, me too.
Like I thought that I don't know. I feel like it'd be nice to get into it a little bit more, and I feel like we're just kind of going a little back and forth, you know.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to hear your song with some friends.
Yeah, I've kind of been holding off the release there until there were some more people around, but there aren't more people. Uh, we do have, I believe, people watching. If you are in the chat and you want to say hi, feel free. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you if you have any questions or thoughts that you'd like to share about.
Also, this is, I mentioned this to Shelton, I think maybe before the show, but also all this poop talk can be a lot for people. Like, I mean, it's not a topic that everyone is very comfortable with, and if it's too much, uh, you can type flush in the chat, uh, and we will stop talking about poop for a little while. Yeah.
No.
But you can also just hang out. You can watch. You do whatever the heck you want.
The illustrations that I did find in a couple of these articles were pretty great. Do you care if I share the article illustrations on the screen?
Yeah.
I gotta figure out how to do that.
You've done it before, so I'm pretty sure you can do it again.
Share screen. Share screen. Window. Chrome tab. Here we go. Can you see?
I'm bringing it up now. Okay.
This is stuff that I didn't think about until I was like helping my sister. She has 2 children, and I had to change a couple diapers. Healthy poop takes 1 to 15 minutes. If your poops are taking longer than 15 minutes, you have constipation. You might need to contact your doctor. Frequency. Did you know that most people poop around the same time of day? I was pretty used to this fact, and it's interesting to me that some people always go to the bathroom at the same time of the day. But also, I think I'm wondering if it depends on what you eat during the day and what time you eat it too.
Yeah.
And if you eat on a consistent basis.
I have recently, not today actually, but I recently had a 2:30 appointment every day for a week, just about.
Huh. Interesting.
I think it's because I was on a more regular schedule of when I was eating, and I was kind of generally eating similar things, that it just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah, I like this euphemism that this person in this article uses as well. Like every other day to 3 times a day, any less could suggest possible constipation. This means you need some more water to move the boat. This was bananas, and I just felt like whoever the artist was that had to sit there and do this illustration must have been like, what is it that I'm doing at work today? And then they get this article on their desk and they just sat there like, are you fucking kidding me? Or are you, I guess whatever, we swear on the show, but this little caterpillar with the glasses just cracked me up.
I kind of wonder actually, because I feel like some people would get this assignment and they'd go, fucking finally. Like something just like a silly little illustration. Like I've been doing corporate stuff for a little while. Man, this is going to be great.
Yeah. Also, because I know that this person was probably a graphic designer, the fact that they wrote Jackson Pollock for diarrhea made it especially funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
It's great.
I don't know. Good to know what different things mean. And honestly, like now that I'm more aware of it, I'm like, if like a friend like tells me they're sick, and like sometimes you can just like be like, hey, if you're what's that like down there? You know, like, oh, well, there could be a serious problem. We don't need to go through all of these. But like also the fact that like somebody who does like art also had to sit here and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna make this like little palette. And when I was like looking it up, my sister explained that like it's different for babies too. So like yellow would be normal if you like breastfeed your baby, um but like green would be bad, or like black is like kind of normal, but like can sometimes be another issue. But the fact that it like specifies like maybe you ate licorice, um or like if it's red it's like a really bad thing, like it's like all these like terrible things, like but like it's the way that your body just tells you like, hey, like these are all these hints like that things are going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that was kind of
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of how like the body. Can you still hear me? By the way,
yeah, I can hear you.
I feel like that's kind of like how the body, like the body, just like kind of like does things, and you can pay attention to it or you can not. And I feel like most of the time people don't really want to pay attention to their poop. Uh, I feel like I recently heard of someone who never looks at their poop or
Yeah.
like looks at their wipe at all, uh, which I think is like uh, kind of good information to have. Like it's not like I examine it, but it's like, you take a look.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like it would be, but because you have to flush, you know,
Right.
like do they look away when they flush? Like I feel like you have to, like in order to even just touch the handle you kind of have to like, just like peek. Like William Shatner doesn't watch his movies, but like everybody kind of has to look at their. I don't know if I believe that person. They just never look at it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think it was more about the not looking at the wipe, to be honest.
You're not looking at what?
The wipe.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. That makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that like the body is constantly telling us information if we're willing to listen to it. And this is just like one uh, one poop, one little way of doing that. One way to peep into what's going on.
Yeah.
Peep at your poop.
Was there ever a moment in your life where you were at a crossroads of time and accessibility to a bathroom that made you nervous?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Yeah. I have a friend who shared this story with me where during the it was on campus at my college, and she had to walk all the way across campus. She couldn't like there were no like buildings open on campus because it was the summertime and everything was closed. So there was no way for her to get to a bathroom, and she had to go all the way across campus, and she couldn't find a bathroom. So she calls me, and she's like, "Hey, are you home?" And unfortunately, I wasn't home, but my apartment was like near the middle of the campus. And she calls me, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm not home." She's like, "I just like need to use a bathroom." So then she calls me and she goes, "I did it." And I was like, "What do you mean you didn't get into my apartment?" So she goes, "I did it." And I had so many questions, and I could have just been like, "Oh, well, I'm glad you had a successful experience." But it's also that like this particular friend is just really attractive. Like people are always like, "Wow, like you're so hot." Like, and she gets hit on like all the time. And she's just very beautiful young lady. And she told me that she had gotten McDonald's earlier that day, which it evidently probably was also the reason why she had either food poisoning or just had a sudden urge to go to the bathroom. But she used the bag in the McDonald's bag and the napkins in order to go to the bathroom behind a dumpster, and I was oddly proud of her for that. Because how ingenuitive to like find a solution to your problem in a moment of stress.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Now Corny is back here. We're or kind of.
Hey, Corny McPeanut.
But you know, I somebody's here. It's garbanzo.
Hello.
Hey,
Garbanzo.
garbanzo.
I so much enjoyed that last poop story.
Glad that you enjoyed it. It was shared anonymously from permission from a friend.
I love, everybody poops. Beautiful people get stuck with no place to poop, and then they have to make way.
And they got to poop in a McDonald's bag.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta poop where you gotta poop.
Yeah. I always think of like those I don't know if you've seen those illustrations that George W. Bush did where he like painted, they were actually pretty good, but he painted his like toes in the bathtub, and like I don't know, it just like doesn't really occur to you that like, oh yeah, like you think of like presidents like have to poop, and like I don't know, you think of like, oh, what's like the White House bathroom like, or like anywhere they go they'll have to use the bathroom, and like is it an honor or not to like
I've heard that Alan Arkin, who you may be familiar with from various movies, the father, like the grandfather, I guess, in Little Miss Sunshine, is kind of one for many of our generation. But
great
he
That wasn't
was
Alan Arkin.
what?
That wasn't Alan Arkin.
I thought I was pretty sure it was.
I'll look it up.
I don't think it was.
Hot show, hot fact.
Let's see.
I'm gonna type in Little Miss Sunshine. Moment of truth.
Oh, I was thinking Alan Alda.
No, yeah, definitely not Alan.
Yeah. Okay. No, that was probably my bad.
Okay. Is it Alan Arkin?
It is Alan Arkin.
Yeah.
I was thinking Alan Alda. That's my bad.
Yeah. Apparently, when he was a younger man and was a stage performer, he would get very nervous, and as he was going to perform, and he would have a hard time not pooping, and so on some of his shows, they had to put a toilet right off the side of the curtain, just behind the curtain, so that he could just poop real quick at any moment, kind of. And I feel like
I would request that if I was in that similar job.
I feel like for the president, there's probably something similar, like not to say that like presidents necessarily are not holding their poop or anything, but just like there is a Secret Service plan for getting the president to a bathroom at any moment.
Do you know on movie sets, like
Give
there's a code for like anytime they have to be aware of where the actor is at all times. So you have to like say, like, I can't remember what the number is.
I've heard this. I've heard of this.
But like they'll say like, okay, like Alan Arkin is 34ing. I think I can't remember what the number is. And it's funny that it's not 2, but like, I don't know. Like, everybody has to be aware where you at. And like, I'm wondering, like, I think about like how you said, like, even the queen, like,
Gets poop on her hand.
I don't know why it's the hand thing is bothering me. Ugh, like, I don't know. It doesn't happen that often. like, and maybe she uses a bidet. Who knows? Like, but I don't know. But like even the queen poops. But like, think about like how often people don't get alone time, and like that's the one time like, or like, you know, when you work a really shitty job, not like literally shitty, but like you just like go to the bathroom so you can sit on your phone and just like not be at your work for a minute.
I am guilty of just sitting on the toilet without pooping and just sitting and breathing for like 5 minutes and then going back.
Yeah, I used to do that when I worked at Starbucks. It sucked there.
You know, I feel like we've maybe reached critical mass, and maybe it would be a good time to get in a little song here. I haven't gotten to this song yet. I'm going to take... Sorry if that made a shitty noise. But yeah, if you want to hear it, I wrote a little song. Even though we've been doing it already for a while. Do you want to talk about bowel movements? Those foul-smelling lumps of whatever didn't digest. Why don't you tell me what you think about bodily waste? Do you have shit to say about that mess in your toilet? Let's talk about poop, baby. Let's talk about diarrhea. All the good things and the bad things that poop can be. Let's talk about poop.
That was lovely.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Thanks. That's so lovely of you to say.
That's been stuck in my head. I listened to that song because he posted it on our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Hot the Cat.
Hot the Cat. Let me put it up in case you don't know how to spell Hot the Cat. That is already on the screen. As one word with a @ sign in front of it.
No one has flushed yet.
Well, we haven't really had many people.
Oh, do we need to have live bowel movements?
Huh?
I can make one happen if it needs to be.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. I think I'm going to flush that topic.
Well, yeah.
It seems like you were looking for it.
To be clear about this flush thing, I think neither of you were around at the moment that I said this. But at any moment, if you are uncomfortable, because poop can be an uncomfortable topic for many people, if any moment it's too much, you can say flush. And
there's a safe word for today's show.
And we can step back and talk about poop for a couple minutes. That goes for anyone watching. That goes for anyone on the show. I don't feel like I've gotten even close yet.
I almost did when you said the Queen thing. I was like, ugh.
It takes a lot to make me uncomfortable.
Now, this is maybe a bad question, but I feel like it is a question maybe to address at this point, is what do you think would be the level of discomfort? Like, what do you think that poop could get you to that? Like, in general, the topic of poop could get you just...
Do we have to?
I mean, you don't have to say what it is. You don't have to... Like, I'm just curious, like, in a general way, do you think that the subject of poop could get you to say flush.
Well, can I weigh in on this?
Yes,
Is that all right?
Please do, Corny.
So I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, and I don't want to kink shame, but I will say that coprophilia is absolutely my level there.
It just occurred to me that people do that, and that would also make me flush.
What is coprophilia?
That is the sexual proclivity
No.
where the pleasureful experience.
Flush. Can I flush? Is it okay?
Flush. You can flush. Now, I would
Just
say,
happened.
can you hear this? Could you hear that?
No, I don't know.
Then I tried playing a sound effect, but instead, I think what's going to have to happen is we're going to all have to go.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, man, couldn't get into that too much.
We're going to set the timer now.
Sorry for asking what coprophilia. I'll look it up on my own.
You got it. We flushed. You got to stop. This is like, okay, we are stopping. We don't talk about why we stopped. We just stopped. We go on to something else.
Yeah.
All right.
Cute cats.
2 minutes on the clock there.
I'm surprised that I was the first one to cry.
I am also surprised.
Yeah, I thought that you would just long haul.
Nope.
I do have a little thing I'd like to do here, if that's all right. Somebody's here, and it's Max.
Hi, Max.
Max.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm hot.
Would you say all in all it's just another brick in the wall?
No.
Oh.
Would you say it's a hot brick in the wall?
What?
Would you say it's a hot brick in the wall?
It's a hot day. It's been like around 100, and it's going to be around 100 all week.
Oh, that's quite warm.
Yeah.
So, I feel like, Max, you have some. You were texting with the group here earlier that you made it into a print magazine for some of your game design stuff, right?
Yeah, it was time.com. Apparently they have a print version. I'm joking. No, that was supposed to be a joke.
Well,
It was hard to hear you, so I was so cool.
I was just thinking about hot brick on the wall, and I couldn't stop laughing about that.
I don't think I've ever made myself laugh at something more like. No, I'm sure something else that is less just entirely insignificant has gotten.
Right.
Cool.
I'll share the screen or the photos somebody sent me.
Yeah, let's check it out just real quick. I don't like our time is up. Max, just to be clear, kind of what the situation is that you're coming into is that so today, as you know, we're talking about poop, baby.
I didn't know that.
Fecal matter.
You absolutely knew that.
You made a fool.
Did you know that before Nirvana, Kurt Cobain was in a band called Fecal Matter, and they have a very unusual mixtape?
That's kind of cool. Maybe I'll get that.
Yeah, you should listen to it. It's like they recorded it on like a tape stereo or something.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Pretty awesome there.
Hold on. I don't want to show all of that stuff. I just want to show the pictures. So I'm going to try to figure out how to do that.
Okay. Yeah, so to explain a little bit what's going on is that we're talking about poop. And right about the time when you joined, we had our first moment where Shelton chose to use the safe word, which is flush. And that meant that we couldn't talk about fecal matter for 2 minutes.
Why?
Number 2.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good.
It's all coming together. I wasn't explained these rules, but they're all kind of falling in place.
Yeah.
As a poop does into.
I'd like to make a list of every euphemism for poop. Need a pen?
Max, do you have a favorite euphemism for pooping?
Shart.
What is
You
it?
say shart?
Shart.
Sharding is a very specific thing.
That's a very specific kind of.
When is the last time that anybody here has sharded?
I don't think I've ever sharted.
I don't think I ever have.
Oh, come on.
Oh boy. It's
Nope.
definitely been within the last month.
Oh no.
Sharted within the last month.
Absolutely.
I think I have in the last week.
I feel like
That's
maybe
when you like.
How long was it before that?
Couldn't have been that long. It's a
Days.
okay. I feel like we need to
not
kind
an
of.
uncommon experience.
We got to get our definitions here. So we're all.
A shart is when you think you're gonna fart, but you poop. That's just very standard stuff.
You know, one time I said that I had never done that, but one time I sneezed like real hard and then that happened. And it was during the pandemic and I like couldn't find a bathroom and I was at work.
And you didn't have any toilet paper.
So I bought pants at a store and it sucked.
Yeah.
So as you can
That
see
is
over here, they wrote this little sidebar about my games.
I kind of wish that instead of processing, they used the word digesting, but I feel like maybe
I mean, that would have been appropriate, but they had no way to know that.
Yeah.
They definitely edited my answers to like fit them in, which kind of disturbed me at first, but there's nothing like inaccurate about what they said. They just edited it for clarity.
Yeah.
Was it an email interview or like a phone interview? What was the format?
It was email, I think. Or it was at least over text of some kind, but it probably was email. Or like, no, I think it was through Twitter.
I'm gonna start writing all the ones that I can think of down because there's just so many.
The euphemisms for poop?
Yeah, it's like there's so many different.
Never-ending list. You could,
Garbanzo, do you have a favorite?
a favorite. It's all situational.
I mean, I understand, but is there one that you just, when you get to say it, you just it feels nice? There's a satisfaction to it.
I'm gonna think about that and get back to you.
Can I share mine?
Please.
Let it digest a little bit. Let it stew. You never want to push it too soon.
Then you wind up wiping for an hour and a half, wasting toilet paper. It's not good.
So I'm gonna share my favorite and then one that like disturbed me that someone else said that now I just find funny, and it's so disturbing. But my favorite one to say is dropping a deuce because
That's pretty good. I like that one too.
I don't know why a deuce means poop. I've tried.
Number 2.
Because
It's
I
number
feel
2.
like you pee more often than you poop, so it's like
Maybe
And all-
you do.
And I remember, like, when I was a kid, your mom would go, "Are you going number 1 or number 2?" to like be polite so that you don't say like, "Yeah, mom, I'm gonna go take a shit," you know.
I mean, I think there are other words that you can use.
It is a very situational thing.
That's how you do it in sign language.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
How do you say P in sign language?
Huh?
How do you say P in sign language?
I have to look it up. I don't know that one.
It's a very situational.
Language.
It's a very situational one, but if you're out in the woods, I do like saying, "I'm going to go dig a hole."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That's a very euphemistic thing to say.
I just like
Like
the
saying I'm gonna drop a deuce
No.
isn't really a euphemism, like it kind of is, but it's vague. But I'm gonna dig a hole is like completely changing the context of what you're gonna do to avoid specifically letting anybody know.
I think it, no, because these are all things that
There's one like that.
like, because so I have a friend who used to say, this is like the one that disturbs me. My friend would say, "I'm gonna go drop the kids off at the pool," and I was like, that is fucking disgusting. And I remember just sitting there thinking to myself, like, that is so funny and horrible.
See, that one's edited. That one's edited from dropping the Cosby kids at the pool. That's a
Yeah,
common
what was that from?
common usage.
Huh.
So it was a
I don't know
race.
if I've ever heard
I-
that with the Cosby kids.
You've never heard that? I think it's from a show or a movie or something. I know I've heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna be
feel
sleeping
like
with two
undertones that I don't like.
instead of a teddy bear.
I feel like there's so
Wait,
many
say
more.
that.
I'll-
What did you say, Max?
I'm gonna be sleeping with this water bottle tonight instead of a teddy bear.
Oh, I thought you were making a euphemism that used teddy bear.
Oh. Ooh.
Like teddy bear?
Big, brown lump.
Can you?
Yeah.
can you
I'm gonna.
be like what? Like I'm gonna use a teddy bear or what?
No, what? Do you use a teddy bear?
I don't. I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say because it.
I thought that you just said something. I had just heard teddy bear, and I thought that you were. I didn't hear the rest of your sentence.
I'm gonna go to the what is that place called? The Teddy Bear Factory?
I'm gonna go
Build a bear.
The workshop and make a teddy bear.
I'm gonna go donate a teddy bear.
I don't like any of them, and I don't think that they make sense.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna weigh in with my favorite, if I may,
Please do.
Please.
and that is I'm gonna take Cleveland to the Super Bowl.
I don't get it. Can you explain it?
Who's Cleveland?
Because
The
Cleveland Browns.
the Cleveland Football Club is the Browns, and the Super Bowl is a well-known football match, and also describes the bowl of the toilet.
Have you guys ever seen the show Rocco's Modern Life?
Can you
Absolutely.
share what it was again? It was, I'm gonna go take Cleveland to the Super Bowl.
That's correct.
Have you ever seen the show Rocco's Modern Life?
No.
Yes, I have.
It's one
It's
of
a
my
really funny and extremely weird and surreal show. And there's this episode where Rocco's toilet gets clogged, so he has to call a plunger who's a pig. And the plunger is like deeply, deeply obsessed with his job. Or not plunger, plumber. And he calls a toilet plunger seat. He's like has an extreme reverence for everything to do with toilets and plumbing and all sorts of stuff. So he's basically like Hank Hill but for toilets, and he calls Rocco's toilet the Wonder Seat.
Gotta go sit on the Wonder Seat. I've heard when you're puking that it's called, I gotta go praise the porcelain gods.
I've heard
Calls it barf.
pray at the porcelain altar, whatever.
Yeah. So or sit on the porcelain throne when you're pooping.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be even cooler, you can say you have to sit on the wonder seat.
Yeah.
What's the longest you've held it?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Like when you had to poop, like when you were really holding it in.
I think it was like 4 days, and I got really sick.
Days?
No,
Why?
I got really sick. It was like I was really poor at the time, and I was just eating ramen because I was like super poor. And I had eaten mostly ramen and not a lot of vegetables, and I was like feeling really sick, and I was like, dude, like I can't go. And it was no, I'm trying to remember. No, I had something else going on. It was like so painful to go to the bathroom that because I had a hemorrhoid, so I had to go to the doctor, and I had to make eye contact with someone when they examined me, and it was horrible. And I was just like, I would like to not be in this space ever again.
Personally, I haven't pooped since Tuesday.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's Tuesday?
That's a long time.
Thursday. That's 3 days.
Have you been eating enough fiber?
Oh, I've been eating fiber. I've just been holding it because I'm saving it for this show.
Oh,
No.
Is this
so you're gonna poop live?
Oh my
I'm sorry?
goodness.
You're
What
gonna poop live on
Are
the
you
show?
gonna stop at a truck stop and do it?
I hear that
Absolutely.
actually truck drivers one of the most common things that they have an issue with is their like constipation because they're sitting for so long. And that's why sometimes truck drivers have to sit on those little like things that are like circular so that they cushion
Like a
it.
toilet seat?
Huh?
The
Like a
donut.
toilet.
Yeah, it's a cushion for your anus.
It's called a donut.
Will contain
Do you have one?
No, I have no issue in that arena.
Not yet. Jinx.
On the subject of holding your poop, I know I've told this story before, but on the first Apollo mission to go around the moon, it was a 9-day mission, and one of the astronauts that did it hated the toilet they had to use so much that he refused to poop the entire 9 days.
Oh, legend.
Wait, can we look up how
Like,
long
no,
it takes
it's
to
probably
kill
like-
you when you don't poop? Like how long you
Yes,
can
I'll
hold it
look
without
that
dying?
Yeah, and like so they arrived back and they were picked up and everything, and the boats picked them up and there was press there and everything, and they were trying to, like congratulating them on the first humans to ever go around the moon and all that, and all he could think about was just, I have to go find a bathroom.
I gotta poop
The answer is 8
now.
weeks.
8 weeks.
Or sorry, there isn't a defined amount of time, such as 1 week or a month, that could technically go without pooping. There's a couple different. There are 2 different articles that say 2 different things. So I'm gonna start with the first one, which there was a 16-year-old from Cornwall, England, who died on February 8th, 2013, after not pooping for 8 weeks. Emily, who had, this is sad. We're not going to go into this. It's really
Flush.
Is that due to like
Flush that down.
Somebody said flush.
flush?
It's sad. She suffered from a
Yeah, we don't need to know. Somebody said flush.
Okay.
Flush.
Did I set the timer?
Nice.
Minutes until you can talk about poop.
Yeah,
can't talk about poop. Somebody said flush.
We could sing a silly song.
We could talk about the weather in Springfield. I don't remember how to play that song.
I do have a quick topic, hopefully, that is related but not so directly that it violates the rules.
All right. Okay.
Does anybody have any opinions, strong or otherwise, about the prank of toilet papering?
I
Not
have strong opinions. I have very strong opinions. It's that it's environmentally unfriendly and a total waste, and toilet paper is expensive. And then the last thing is that the person who ends up cleaning it up is normally not the person who is intended to like be toilet papered.
Collateral damage.
Yeah, because somebody like toilet papered. I think it was my house when I was a kid, but it was like my sister's cheerleading team, and I was the one who ended up cleaning it up. And also, it sucks because it like the texture of it is like disgusting, especially if it gets wet at all.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Why did you end up cleaning it up?
Because it was in the yard and everybody needed to help.
Oh, I see.
I've
So
never
you didn't do it by yourself. You did it with your family. I thought you meant you did it all by yourself, and I was like, why?
No, it was like today we're going to rake the leaves and pick up all the fucking toilet paper.
I get it.
Probably in that exact tone from my dad.
I have
Anybody
strong
not-
opinions on breaking leaves.
Here ever toilet papered a house?
Hmm?
Has anybody on here ever toilet paper?
I have not.
I've never done it.
I think I did with. I can't remember. It was like with a group that was like a school group or something. I don't know. Yeah, I did it once. I will say it was a nice feeling to like throw the toilet paper. Like,
How did they convince you to do it? What was their rhetoric?
I
Peer
think
pressure, baby.
it was like I think
Do it.
they knew that like I think that I knew that the person who was gonna get it done to their house like knew that it was gonna like get done. Like it wasn't like
What singled them out?
I was too young. I don't remember. But I will say it was like a really freeing feeling of like watching it, like the way that it like glides in the air, like when you throw it, like feels amazing.
Now that you say that, I feel like I might have toilet papered a tree.
Yeah. Tree is classic target.
Yeah.
The key is getting correct backspin.
That sounds like you're throwing a dead child back at its mother.
It's so fucked up.
It is what it is.
It's
How does it sound like that?
Well, toilet paper is like a tree.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but also
too far removed. I don't think
there's a lot. It's like
I understand.
it's like putting a mother with its child that has been processed through like many factories.
Also, it's not the tree's child.
not
It's
Yeah,
a
no.
relative.
One of its own dead. One of hundreds of thousands of its dead companions being thrown
Not
back.
companions.
Do you guys remember the toilet paper shortage in 2020?
Yeah, I just mentioned that.
And it's just hard
Yeah.
to keep those shelves.
Referenced it.
There's actually there's a really concrete psychological reason why that was an issue.
Stupidity.
I'd love to hear more
Oh
about it.
no.
It takes up more space on the shelf, so it's harder to stock them quickly. Like I work at a grocery store, So like
Right.
it looks like there's nothing on the shelf, but like really it takes up so much space on the shelf.
Right,
That's-
and that is part of the factor of the shortage. The other things involved in that are that manufacturers of toilet paper pretty much they manufacture at maximum capacity, and consumers typically consume toilet paper at a pretty regular rate. So
Mhm.
when you have something being manufactured that's run around the clock and they can only put so much out at a time, and that so much is at their maximum ability, then you have a gridlock on supply. Now on the demand end, the psychological thing is when people are scared, they seek comfort and they want to feel like they are in control of something.
I would never go to
And
your home.
what happened in this happening is that people saw toilet paper a important factor in comfortable life. They wanted to be able to control something in a time of fear, and so they bought up and hoarded as much toilet paper in a time of uncertainty and fear. So like there's a very like natural explanation for why that happened. And then there's other factors of supply chain and distribution and whatnot, but it's mostly that people poop at the same rate consistently and predictably and buy toilet paper at the same rate consistently and predictably. And when the demand surges, there's no way to correct for that.
A lot of people bought bidets.
Bidets are a good way to go. But
I
I
can't
guess some of the uncertainty of water running. But what are you going to do with the toilet paper if there's no water running?
Yeah, good question.
Just put it in bags. Throw it out.
And then they all stack up outside and there's poop.
And hopefully it's like
I read that toilet paper, it wasn't even really necessary when people had better diets.
What kind of diet would it take to not
I
have to?
I
Like
will
a
say that
diet.
there was a time when I think it was when I was working on a farm and mostly eating farm fresh vegetables, that I would poop and I would go to wipe and it was like, well, no, it just came out so clean. Like,
That's known in some circles as Casper the Friendly Poo.
Like, think about it though. I mean, the reason
The direct opposite.
the reason I know that is because I wondered what did people use instead before toilet paper was invented.
also
Maybe
don't ever use
They
like
don't
tissue.
necessarily need to. But also, I also heard that in like a lot of other countries, they think using paper to wipe your butt is very gross and weird.
Because a lot of other countries, people use bidets, and they like the idea of putting your hand back there seems gross.
Yeah, it does seem gross if you think about it out from an outside perspective where you're not used to it.
Once you go bidet, it's hard to go back.
That's what I've heard from every couple friend
Once
that
you
I
go
have.
bidet, it's hard to go back.
They say the
It's
same.
true.
I've heard that in India, a lot of times they just eat with their hands. They use like bread and scoop, but they only use one of their hands
Left hand.
because the other hand traditionally wipes their ass, and you don't use that same hand.
I think
Just wash your
hand I use.
It doesn't matter.
It's in India though, where many places do not have proper sanitation.
Yeah, that was one of the countries that was listed as like with the most issues with like the relatable deaths from lack of sanitation.
Also, as we were kind of mentioning earlier, a society that is very striated, like between the very, very poor and the pretty rich.
The other weird thing, so like when I was like reading this article about like different types of like pooping and stuff, or like throughout the world, like there's like one like sad fact was like that like countries where like you have to poop openly and in the wild, like women are generally less safe too, because like it opens you up to the vulnerability of like people like being able to approach you when you're like unclothed. So like the safety, like being able to go to the bathroom in like a place where you're alone literally keeps you safer. So like access to water and like plumbing like saves lives.
I think it's something that we overlook living in this culture, the ability to poop comfortably.
Yeah.
Without fear of being attacked while you're pooping.
Yeah. That was something that I didn't think about until I was like reading that article today, and I was like, you know what? I didn't think about
it must be a lot harder, like when you have to worry like about like predators, human or animal, attacking you while you're pooping.
Yeah.
It must be hard.
The other interesting thing that I was like, so when my ex-boyfriend went to Korea, and he texted me a picture of the bathroom that he had to go to the bathroom in, and he was like, dude, I don't know what to do. And it was like a 15-hour time difference, so I'm like responding, and I can't remember like what time it was, but I was like really, really tired, and it was really early.
It's just a hole in
So yeah, it was just like a hole in the ground, but it's like they had to like, it's almost like a yoga pose, like where you have to like.
This is actually a real thing. Like, squatting is the natural position you're supposed to poop in. And Americans can't even do it because we don't do it. So
how many people here have a squatty
it's really healthy and good for you to
I've used one.
squatting pose so you can stretch your lower back muscles and calves, I think, or hamstrings.
And it helps get all of it out.
Yeah, the squatty potty is the way.
I'm not really talking about for poop purposes, but pooping that way is like the more natural way to do it.
I've done that. I mean, I've been in places where that was the toilet.
I have a little stool in my home bathroom to raise the legs up a little bit.
I've read that's a good thing to do.
I thought you said scoop like a scoop, and I'm
yes,
like,
it hangs on the wall just behind my litter box.
Man,
that reminds me.
something really calming about like cleaning like a litter box for me. Like there's like every time I like have to like pet sit, like there's something calming about like.
You want to scoop some litter right now? Because I have to.
It's a bit of a drive for that.
Well, I mean, I could do it.
Do that.
Sure.
I could do it for you. If you want, you could guide me through it, but I've done it many times. So.
Huh. Is it otter time?
Yeah, I don't know how long I'll be able to do it for. Well, I don't really want to scoop the litter while he's in there.
Yeah. No.
Currently going?
No, he's not currently going. He's sitting right over near me.
Do you guys ever make eye contact with a dog when they're pooping and you're just like, I feel sorry, like, oh, sorry. And like they look so vulnerable.
When they're pooping, so they know that you're keeping them safe from predators.
Yeah,
Is that,
they'll do that because they trust you. Yes, it's a canine gesture of trust.
but it's like that explains why they like keep the eye contact, because like I know you not like.
Well,
they are watching to see that you are watching their behind zone
so
to make sure that they are safe.
To be honest, you're being the weird one by continuing to stare at them.
Yeah, you need to be scanning the zone in their rear for aggressors.
Yeah.
But it's just like it when they catch you off guard when you're not trying to like see them, and then like
Now, see, that's when you need to be on guard on their behalf because you're
Okay.
protecting them.
I'm gonna think about this next time I actually make eye contact with a dog when it's pooping.
Yeah. Just do a quick scan for any predators or aggressors or dangers. Yeah.
All right. That's helpful to know.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because it's just like, a biological need.
Exactly. They are in the open in a very vulnerable position.
Yeah, like you were talking about earlier.
Exactly. It is very hard to pinch one off and then turn around and defend.
Pinch one off. That's another one. That I think isn't that a term for like? I don't want to say it.
For pooping, yeah.
No.
I don't
Really,
I think maybe you're thinking
surprised you're
something
tracking
else.
us pooping.
Okay. Well, so far I've got poop, shit, shitting, dropping a deuce, taking a dump, shart, which we said was kind of a different topic, but and then under that we also put diarrhea, which is DIARRAH.
It's one of the hardest words to spell. I couldn't spell it if I tried.
And yet one of the softest substances.
Ew.
Spills out.
It's like once you change, like once if you have a niece or nephew or children of your own, like I don't think anybody on here has children, but like when you have to change a diaper and it is just like, how did this poop get all the way up here? Like,
Oh, that's a little pro tip if you're ever in a diaper situation. You take the back edge of the diaper, fold it over a little bit inward, and that will help prevent blowouts up the back.
huh?
That's good.
All right, good to know. Yeah, this was like because my niece was like
My niece was like.
it said it went like up her back, and I was like, it didn't make sense to me. And then I thought about like how like logistically the angle was at.
Water physics are complicated, or liquid physics, I guess I should say.
Cat physics don't make sense.
Do we have any other euphemisms?
What?
Dig a hole. Kids at the pool. People into the Super Bowl.
Dropping a load? Did you get dropping a load?
No, I didn't.
I also heard earlier unloading some brown boxes.
Laying a log.
Yeah.
Pudding.
Wait, what was that one?
Squirting pudding.
Oh.
Oh. I'm gonna write it, but I'm not happy about it.
Laying a log.
What's the other one? It's like using a frozen yogurt machine.
A cagar in Spanish. Cagar.
Using the outhouse.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
What kind of litter do you use?
In polite context, you could say, I've got to go see a man about a dog or a horse.
In a polite context, let's say I have to go to the bathroom or use the restroom.
We're looking at the world's best here. It's I think a corn-based litter.
Corn-based litter.
It is a little dusty, but otherwise pretty good.
What are you describing?
The litter that we use.
That's really fun.
I'm gonna go get some almonds.
But I'm doing this because you said you wanted to scoop some litter.
Do you like rake it all when you're done?
I mean, I don't use a rake, but I
You know what I mean?
sometimes.
Make it all even.
Sometimes. I figure if he wants it that way, he'll get it that way.
Do you guys remember that scene in Baby Mama when?
The chocolate poop one.
Yeah, she's like, "What if that had been poop?"
I think that scene is genius, but the way it was executed was less than funny. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I think too.
Like, she was like, "Is that poop or chocolate?" too many times, and it kind of ruined the joke, I think. But I think the joke itself is hilarious and awesome.
And also something that moms probably have to go through.
Yeah, totally. It's just kind of a genius joke.
I never saw that movie.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
think I saw it and I didn't really like it that much.
I think it's a pretty good movie.
I
It's
think
definitely like a 2000s or so comedy.
Yeah, I want to say it's like 2006, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of
Maybe
people
not.
like it. For some reason I just didn't.
Huh?
I think a lot of people like that movie for some reason.
Yeah, it's pretty well liked.
I'm trying to think of more of them because I know there's just so many.
What's that?
More euphemisms?
Yeah.
Or poofamisms, if you will.
Euphemisms.
I don't know. I think the idea of
That reminds me of another one. Goo.
huh?
Goo.
I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, I'm gonna squirt goo.
Ew.
I'm gonna pretend I'm a slug.
These
And
up.
make some goo.
I'm tempted to flush. I'm not going to, but you're crossing the line.
Crossing a line?
I said I'm tempted to flush, but I'm whatever.
I'm having a hard time understanding or hearing you.
I was tempted to flush in that moment.
Oh.
This is common.
Well, that's nice.
Kind of irritating. Especially when you don't have to smell it.
Yeah.
There are some truths you have. You've got some shirts you have.
I spot one.
Oh, there! I see it.
It's getting away.
You gotta shake it loose. There it is.
Have you seen those ones that are like weird spaceshipy ones? Like it like rotate to shake the litter.
Yes.
They're kind of interesting. Like I think about like how much like engineering has gone into like the idea of the litter box. You know?
We could do this better, faster.
Stronger.
Clunkier.
smellier.
No, not as fragrant.
Well, I think I need to go drop a deuce.
Have fun.
Are you gonna take us with you?
Corn-based.
That might get your account banned.
Well, but without the video, I'm not. I kind of wonder. I mean, if we didn't show anything,
Maybe you're hiding a turd. Can you imagine if humans had to use litter boxes? How different it would be?
That would be. But I also don't think. I mean, like, we don't have to use anything. As our discussion of different types of toilets has revealed, humans can do a lot of different types of things.
I'm really happy that humans started using toilets because it used to be really bad. If you look into the history of like New York sanitation, oh god,
Chamber pots.
they would just
yeah.
window, and then there were dead horses on the street.
Now that sounds awesome.
Did you say awesome?
Yeah. Free breakfast.
Corn-based live. Everyone has their truth. That's a clean litter box, huh?
Tie it up.
Tying up cat turds.
Oh yeah, I think I had just enough battery to be doing this. I know it's just blackness, but I gotta wash my hands.
So you have a separate camera set up just for the litter box.
Well, I mean, it's just my phone.
Hi, friends.
Hello. How about we talk about something other than food for a while?
You gotta say flush then.
I want it to be more than 2 minutes. Like at least 5 minutes.
Can we allow it?
I don't know if
I
we
mean,
can call this. It
I
breaks.
will say
That hold on.
we don't have to talk about poop for every moment of this show. I don't think we've ever had a topic that we've actually stuck to as long as we've talked
That's
about
what I
poop.
was
I don't think we've ever stuck to it. though.
Something about
Actually, no.
means
Actually, I'm gonna
lots to talk about.
I'm gonna say that that's not exactly true, because we did that futuring episode and we stuck to that topic really well.
That's true.
Futuring?
Futuring, yeah.
I don't think I was on that show.
No, I don't think you were either. I
That's
recently
probably why you were able to get through a whole topic.
that one was with Jess Wilder. Who
Where
you may
has
know,
she been on the show?
know Luda.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Is there a song from that show?
Yeah, there was. Here, let me
I very avidly cleaned my hands so much while after going to the bathroom after thinking
Oh, future and what have you been thinking about? What's round the bend? Oh, future is what will exist Look at that watch there on your wrist, 'cause the minutes are slipping by, another coming fast. Pretty soon that future is gonna be our past. Will it be utopia or a killscape dystopia, or do I have myopia about what will be? Oh, futurin', are you dreaming about how the future begins? Wow!
That was pretty cool.
That was lovely, Hot.
Thanks. Yeah, that was when we talked about what the future might be like.
And how to make the future good.
Yeah.
Like
I really-
imagining the future and trying to come up with ideas on how to get there.
Do you think there will be poop in the future, and how will we deal with it?
I think
No,
that poop is
I don't.
inevitable.
I am kind of curious. Do you think that there, like, I know that this is like, I know you're trying to actually steer us away from this conversation, Max. But do you think that there will be another innovation in poop science on the level of the toilet, like the flushing
Yeah,
toilet?
there already has been. It's called
Be.
poop transplants.
What is it?
Poop transplants.
You can get paid to do that these days.
Excuse me, what? No, tell me more.
Transplants. It's poop transplants.
You need to go. Don't just repeat the same thing.
If you have a healthy
It's
enough
when you
poop,
transplant
it will
poop
pay you
to
to be a
somebody else's
poop.
body.
You're
Yeah.
both speaking at the same time.
No,
It's
you
when
go
transplant
to the
poop
donation.
to
You're
different
still
people's-
doing it.
Still doing it one at a time.
It's when you
Poop
transplant
transplant.
to a different person's body.
That sounds impossible.
It's
How
not.
does it work?
It's
They did surgery. Great. We can do this.
Okay, fine, I'll tell you. It's like gut bacteria has been discovered to be way more part than people realized. But your gut bacteria can become infected with unhealthy types. So a fecal transplant is what they actually call it, is a way to fix that. And actually, I think the way they do it now is you take a pill that has poop in it, and then it recolonizes your colon.
That's fascinating. So is it like if you have Crohn's disease or something? Or like
I don't think it's for that. It's for like various things, but I think, yeah, it's like not necessarily for anything really specific. Just like you can have bad bacteria that aren't really supposed to be the majority of your gut bacteria, and they can cause all sorts of problems from digestion issues to depression. And your gut bacteria has like a hugely important effect on many things in your health and mentally and physically that you might not even know.
did you know that when women wore corsets, like the years in which like corsets were most popular, that it massively affected the digestive system of women, and they lived longer after corsets were less popular.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me, I guess.
Well, it's not. It like rebalances the way that your organs are supposed to be shaped.
Right.
Yeah.
I found that out because I was curious about like what corsets do to the body, and there was this like lady who she basically wanted to be a Barbie doll.
Who?
There was like just some lady who's obsessed with Barbie who like decided to like look like Barbie.
Well, the reason I ask is because like there's like a few, and I'm curious which one it is.
There's one that I remember specifically, but like she had like a ton of surgeries to like look like her. I guess I could pull it up.
Yeah. Like, there's one whose name I don't know, and then there's, God, what's her name?
I typed in Barbie lady and Aqua Barbie girl came up. Who is the real Barbie girl? Valeria Lukavana. She is from the Soviet Union. She's from Ukraine. I hope she's okay.
Does she still live there?
I don't know. I can imagine if they're going
I think
to
she's only had one basic surgery.
share screen, share screen, Chrome tab, Barbie lady. So she like changed herself to look like Barbie.
According to her, she's only had one basic surgery.
This like terrifies me,
Yeah, I mean, it's
but also fascinates
uncanny
me.
valley.
Well, like I don't know, it's interesting that like I feel like because she's done this, it talks about like how unrealistic like the beauty standards are. And like how dolls can affect like the way that we view ourselves. But like for someone to go this far, like I don't know, it raises a lot of ethics questions.
On the creators of
I personally am. Right now I'm saving up money to get surgery done on my hand to have the GI Joe Kung Fu grip.
Cool.
Ah, there you go.
GI Joe Kung.
I think they get the Mr. Stretch surgery, where I could just
Stretch Armstrong.
Which Armstrong?
I want you to pull on me real hard.
just see how far you
This is not specifically poop related, but I just had a recollection about something that I read.
A rectal. Sorry, had to.
A rectal.
Nice.
Is that what you said?
So I had a recollection, and it's an interesting factor in how plumbing systems have been intersected and affected by television. So with the popularity of like more broadly broadcasted and popular televised events like the Super Bowl or the last episode of MASH, which outside of the Super Bowl is still, I believe, the most highly watched television event. When the commercial break comes on for certain television events, that's when everybody gets up to use the toilet. And everybody ends up flushing at about the same time, which can cause catastrophic pressure on municipal water systems.
We should do that on purpose.
So,
No.
I mean, it is now something that is like well understood and is tested for. And like when there are big television events, there are extra people on duty at your municipal water plants, nationwide, worldwide.
I was just thinking that that's a good argument for streaming television, like when you can watch where you want.
Yeah,
and that is true. That is actually like a factor in like there are more people than just viewers in favor of streaming television. But the Super Game is still a huge tax on water systems.
This just blew my mind. That's something I never would have thought of.
Yeah.
Well, they're finding like diseases, traces of diseases in water right now. Based on that, like they're testing for COVID and monkeypox and stuff through people flushing their excrement down the toilet, and they're learning quite a lot about it.
I mean, we did talk about this earlier, but there's a lot that you can learn from your, like, if you have any kind of like health. We came up with a chart which we thought that the graphic design was incredible on.
Where?
If you type in Healthline.
Here, I think it's
Yeah, bring that up. I'm so curious to see this.
It's healthline.com/digestive-health/types.
Do you want to just bring it up again?
Yeah.
Just have it open.
Now, I can't see this. So can somebody tell me what it means when there is more blood than stool?
You need to go to a doctor.
Yeah, that means you have a hemorrhoid.
Yeah, most likely a hemorrhoid, but it could be something like a tear with your bowel too. Here, we can go directly to it.
One thing that I have heard is that means it's after the digestive system.
Okay.
It depends if it's a light red or a dark red.
Yeah, no, we're talking about fresh blood and like gallons of it. So
where did the
you got gallons of blood coming out of you?
Are going to die. Like
you should go to the hospital like now.
Wait,
that's where I'm going right now.
Losing a gallon of blood is probably fatal.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Or is it a chart right now?
No, it's a bunch of porn.
It just, yeah, it's dirty. No, it just says, "What does healthy poop look like?" ?
This is the. Oh, here we go. Okay. So when I went to the bathroom, it only took a couple minutes. It did not take a full 15 minutes. Anything longer than 15 minutes it takes you to go to the bathroom, it's not great. And you may need to either talk to a doctor or get some more fiber in your diet.
You know, inulin is a good way to get fiber. It's clear, it's easy. You can mix it up into a drink.
What does it mean if your poop is transparent?
Well, we could go shape consistent.
Have you ever had transparent poop?
That's what my poop always looks like.
If it looks like a diva, you're lacking fiber.
I think you need to go see a priest.
So
See the local shaman.
Somebody asked about bleeding. So Max was correct with the assessment that if you're bleeding, it could be hemorrhoids or bleeding in your lower intestine. Or you could have just eaten.
And what about like black and tarry?
That's really bad.
You either ate licorice, an iron supplement, or a bismuth medication, or you're bleeding in your upper intestinal tract.
Have you been eating bismuth?
That can be an indication of colon cancer.
Ah.
So if you have black and tarry stool, you need to go to a doctor.
But have you been eating bismuth?
That would be
not personally, no.
What is bismuth?
But bismuth is the effective mineral in Pepto-Bismol. And also, if you crystallize bismuth, it looks super neat. Somebody Google that.
It's really cool.
What is it?
It's like
It's a metal.
As much as
an elemental metal.
Is it synthetic or is it a naturally like?
It's naturally occurring, but it's rarely concentrated, and it rarely.
So cool.
It looks really cool.
Why does everybody know what this is but me?
I mean, I know about it because of.
I took a geology class.
It looks beautiful.
And it like specifically, I mean, this isn't the only kind of
crystallizes into like geometric shapes, kind of.
Yeah, very cool
this is naturally occurring. This isn't like
it naturally occurs, but it rarely crystallizes like that.
Wow, isn't that cool? Snazzy.
Like if you want to know about another
mineral,
another really neat metal is gallium, which is, man, such a great prank opportunity.
Oh yeah, that's
you can take gallium.
It becomes
you
liquid.
take gallium,
It
Yeah,
becomes
you take
liquid at
gallium.
body temperature, but it's not
Right.
toxic or dangerous like mercury.
Huh.
So the classic prank is you get gallium, you make it into a spoon, you put it in the drawer in the kitchen at the chem lab, and then as soon as somebody goes to stir their non-dairy creamer in their coffee, it all melts away. Hysterical.
That would be pretty funny to do, like in a home where nobody would understand why it happened.
That would be terrifying. Okay, so what if somebody ingests it though?
I don't think you should play those.
It's
kinds of
not
tricks on people.
toxic, but you probably don't.
I believe it's inert and it will just pass through into your poop.
Yeah.
You got rocks in your
Not
poop.
that many people have been able to poop metal, so that's.
Imagine if you like. Well, there was an episode of Grey's Anatomy where this guy like swallowed a magnet, which is like it was based on a real thing.
Oh yeah, those buckyballs that are popular, that are the tiny neodymium magnets. They are very dangerous.
Oh.
If taken internally, they can perforate your intestine pretty easily.
Do you guys know that no one actually ate and died from Tide Pods? It was like literally just a media thing.
I'm not surprised.
Because Gen Z was just like making jokes about eating it. And then people thought that they were dumb enough to actually do that.
That makes me not even remotely surprised.
How many times have you pooped and there was nothing there?
Never.
Once.
Like you felt like you full on pooped and then there was just nothing.
Here I sit, broken-hearted, came to shit, but only farted.
There you go.
What about aiming to fart but only sharted?
There's a lot of
I can tell you, circling back to euphemisms and whatnot, the opposite of Casper the Friendly Poop, where you go and there is no need for a wipe, the opposite of that is Harold and the Brown Crayon, where it's just pass after pass after pass, and it's like wiping a marker.
Wipe and wipe and wipe.
Yeah.
I think that probably means you don't have enough fiber.
That just means that you still got one in the chamber, buddy. You got to push a little harder.
I don't think you're supposed to have to push.
You know what? Doing the business. We forgot that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good use of
Oh,
it.
yeah, go do your business. Yeah. For dogs and such, especially using the potty.
I don't want to see any actual poop pictures.
I know we're missing like thousands of use.
If in the future anyone ever sees
Yeah,
this,
definitely.
please leave in the comments anyone
Do you have pooping in there?
Oh wow, this is
Pooping is a simple one.
places in the world. I think.
I took that off the screen. I can bring it back, I guess.
Can you see the?
I mean, kind of.
You can see a screen.
Yeah.
It says crap and has some other random stuff on it.
I think it would be easy to like look up how to
Oh,
say
you have crap on your
language.
list?
No, surprisingly no.
Taking a crap.
Share screen. Sorry, I have to say it out louder. It doesn't work for some reason.
I know you guys. I know you guys were talking earlier about dinosaur poop. Did you touch on coprolite?
What is coprolite?
No, fascinating. The coffee. Is that what you're talking about?
No. Oh, we'll circle. That's Kopi Luwak, and that's
Luwak.
coffee. That's coffee cherries that have been ingested by civet cats.
Oh yeah.
And the digestive system digests the outside of the coffee cherry, but passes the coffee bean. But there's an enzyme in their gut that makes it absolutely fantastic coffee. But I'm talking about coprolite, which is fossilized dinosaur poop, and can be made into absolutely gorgeous jewelry.
Really?
Should I look it up too?
I
Sure.
think we need to see what this looks like.
But yeah, Kopi Luwak coffee is very expensive because it's a little complicated to deal
How do I
with.
spell it? Kopi Luwak?
What is the name of the jewelry that is made out of it?
Coprolite.
You could look up like polished coprolite.
Coprolite.
It does look a lot like poop.
Coprolite. Wow, it is $198 for that coffee. Really expensive.
Is that per pound?
I think so.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It still kind of looks like shit.
That's what I
Look
said.
at that one on the right over there.
Where in the world is this from?
To the right?
Yeah, the one that's a glow spear there. That looks nice. Doesn't
Search
look like pink.
coprolite jewelry. That's what I had to do to find something that looked like it was
Yeah,
polished.
it just looks like a turd in its fossil state, but when it's cut open and polished, it's gorgeous.
It still looks like a turd, but it's shiny.
I feel the same as Max on this.
Well, look up the jewelry.
No, you got to type in jewelry though.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what it looks like.
Yeah, the beauty is on the inside,
Okay,
like a lot
alright.
of people.
I like the parts with the green in it.
I don't know. I think it'd be
Oh,
pretty
yeah, I
gross
didn't see
inside most people.
When I searched for it, it was mostly like brown with different flecks and stuff, and it did look
I
cool.
specifically dislike this one because it looks like poop.
Well, it is poop. They all
Well,
look.
but, like, I
Beauty
think
is in the eye of the beholder.
How old is it? How old is this poop?
Dinosaurs.
Like,
No.
how long does it take? What era?
At least 65.
Mesozoic, Jurassic?
coprolite fossilized poop.
How long does it take to fossilize?
How long does
food?
it take to form coprolite? How's that pronounced? Coprolite?
Coprolite, yes.
Coprolite.
The only scientists have found coprolites of lots of different animals, including dinosaurs, cats, and even humans. Ew. I don't know why I said ew. That's all the same. Typically, petrified process takes a few thousand years, but you can get your hands on this one for an estimated $8,000 to $10,000. Damn.
Can we see what that one looks like?
Yeah.
One that's 8,000 to 10,000?
It really just looks like shit.
That looks like a turd.
I mean, it's fossilized feces.
It looks like a cat turd.
I wonder if this is a healthy turd or like a non-healthy turd too.
I don't know if it's possible for us to know that.
Yeah, because I mean, we
Do
would
we know what animal left that behind?
Let's find out. It says prehistoric beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like unless it was coming out like in the location, it would be almost impossible to tell.
Yeah.
I think that
You
they
think
actually,
one day human poop would be like that?
like, if they had an area where there were lots of a specific kind of dinosaur and there was a lot of that dinosaur's poop, then they would know that it was that dinosaur's poop.
Isn't it amazing that like also like
It's a guess. It's a theory.
if we
It's
talk
like old starter jacket. You
what's
know?
the word for like dispersion of like dispersion of like different seeds and stuff. Animal seed dispersion.
If you were a plant, how would you like to disperse your seeds?
I think the pooping, going through a whole animal and then like finding your way to like a whole different part of the world seems pretty interesting.
I once saw a short documentary about a plant that hangs its leaves over a river, maybe the Amazon, and drops these huge seeds like this big.
That's a big seed.
Seed pods, and they float down the river as far as they can go.
Do you know what plant it's called?
No, it's been a very long time since I saw
We're
it.
going to need to know what kind of plant this is.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
The coconut palm does that.
Immediately with dandelion, like I'd like to be a dandelion. Yeah.
That was the cutest thing I've ever heard.
That was a really nice
Just
phrase.
saying, I'd
I
like
miss.
to be a dandelion.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool one. That would be my second choice, but my first choice is explosion.
Is it what?
Explosion.
An
Oh,
explosion?
Actually, you know
Like
what? I choose to
Easter eggs explosion. Like there's a plant called monkey's dinner bell that dries, has like these seed pods that are formed in such a way that it dries, and I guess sometimes people have collected them, and they can explode at any time with so much force that they could like break glass and harm people.
That's incredible. I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it's a plant from the rainforest.
I think
We gotta stop cutting down our rainforests. There's so much cool shit in there.
I feel like my
Yeah, I
real
love
answer-
rainforests.
I love the speaking of poop and rainforest, do you know that there's a specific kind of like bug that only exists to eat like the bacteria from sloths' butts? Like that eats like the poop off them so that they can like survive and not have poop on them. But
I
like
wish that's why I existed.
it seems like a really specific purpose. I'd like to like have a lot of different purposes.
Yeah,
let's
humans who
kind of
complain
think-
about not having a purpose, maybe they'll be reincarnated as those bugs.
Maybe. That's an interesting way of thinking about it.
Like then you know what your life's purpose is.
Like to avenge your father. Or
No,
let's just eat the poop.
well,
My name is Inigo Montoya.
I think that's a good time. That's a good ending. Just kidding. Man, I have so many thoughts. But I think of all the seeds that I would ideally like to be, you know, the one I think it's like willow trees. What's the ones where they like when they fall down, they go in like little helicopter wheels.
Oh,
Maple.
Oh,
I believe that's maple.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
such a big part of my childhood was dropping those things. Helicopter.
Big part of my childhood was dropping turds.
Dropping turd. I think everybody here shares that.
Yeah.
What's your earliest memory of pooping?
Fruit.
This is a question to everyone here. What's your earliest memory of pooping?
So
Ooh, I have a good one.
I have a memory of that is so early and so unsure in my mind. I have never been sure if it's a memory or a dream that I had when I was younger. But what I remember is someone finding a pine needle in my poop,
what?
in my diaper, and
Like a long or short pine
Like it
needle?
went through
Yeah.
you, or it just ended up there.
I mean, I think
Guessing that was the question.
I think the question, yeah, like they found it, and like I just remember like people being concerned, but like kind of being like, sort of like, well, I guess it's out, so there's nothing we can really do. Like, but I just remember like people kind of like my mom like kind of being concerned, but like kind of also letting it go. And it's probably the earliest memory that I have, if it's a memory. But it's so fuzzy. I really am unsure if it really
Can
happened.
you call your parents right now on this?
I don't think they would remember, and also they're in bed.
Yeah, that would have been interesting though. I would love to share my like most memorable
I
childhood.
wanna hear your poop story.
Should I say it like a western or like a song?
I have a guitar in my hand, so I feel naturally inclined.
Oh, all right, I'm into it.
I wanna hear your poop story.
Well, when I was a young warthog.
You have to sing the whole time.
I feel like
warthog.
When I was a young warthog.
I feel like I need a steady like a campfire tune. If you guys can help out.
You got this, Garbanzo?
I don't know if you could hear. I've been playing guitar the whole time.
Yeah,
Is
we
that-
can totally hear.
Kind of hard to hear.
Oh,
You guys.
I thought you couldn't hear that at all. I'm sorry about
No, we
that.
can totally hear. But it's like a nice level. It's quiet.
Well, it gets quiet. Like, are you quieting when I talk? I need you to be just as loud.
I'm just doing the same thing. It's just a C and an F.
I can't hear it.
Hot, why don't you do it?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You just said you could hear it the whole time.
It's just like as soon as I started talking, it got quieter.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, that's how it goes. I
Huh.
think Hot has to take on this responsibility.
When I was a kid, I was at my lake house with my granny Sue and my mom and my dad. I had a little bathing suit. It was pink and it had little ruffles on the edges. I was at the lake with my cousin. Cousins are like friends, but they're related to you. And sometimes they help you poo.
I'll be honest, I can't follow this story at all.
So anyway, I'm having my heart. I was
Sorry.
I was trying to go along with the song. So anyways, when I was a kid, I was in my pink bathing suit with my cousins. And I like when you need to go to the bathroom and you're in a bathing suit, you can't really get it out. So this is actually the story of the first time I lied to my parents, apparently. Because my mom like came upstairs or came into the room where like the bathroom was at, and there was like a shit on the ground, and I was like probably like 4. I think I was like three or 4, and like I must have been 4 because I was able to like speak in full sentences and stuff. And I had said to my mom, like, "Mom, a goose, it flew in through the window and pooped on the ground." And
a goose flew in through the window is just the beginning of a kid's book.
and like I like apparently was just the way that I had told this story was just like I like was fully committing to this lie that I had told. And what had clearly happened was that I was in a bathing suit and it's difficult to get off, and I couldn't get it off in time, so I pooped in the bathing suit. So then when I took the bathing suit off, it must have fallen on the floor. But I was hard committed to this lie. And was just like, "No, Mom, a goose came in the window and it pooped on the ground. I don't know how it happened. It was crazy. You should have seen it." Like, and I doubled down on it. And my mom, like even anytime I would bring like a new partner home, like would like tell that story as a way.
That would get old fast.
Huh?
That would get old fast.
It's more like my parents just like would share like embarrassing stories, like when like a new partner comes to like, I don't know. I get the point, because it's like it's nice to like, you know, be on a level where you're like, oh, like we can embarrass you, like it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. It was I think it's just funny because it's like when you're a kid, it's like you don't really have control over like a lot of that stuff, and I can't imagine like like as a little kitten trying to get a poop out of your bathing suit. And I have like a picture of like, I know my mom took a picture that day, and I can see if I can find it.
Did she take a picture of the poop?
No, just like of me that day.
We'll keep this forever.
Ah, that time that a goose came in and pooped on the floor.
Well, that reminds me of a time when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade, and apparently somebody had gone into the boys' bathroom, put a paper towel down on the floor next to the toilet, and pooped onto it.
Wow.
And the teacher asked us, in class, once she was aware of this, of like, did anybody, do this? And then one by one, we all had to go into the bathroom and look at it, as a way to so the person responsible could fess up without singling themselves out in front of the entire. So we all had to individually go into the bathroom, look at the floor turd, and tell the teacher whether or not we were the poopatrator. And then
You win.
I remember seeing the teacher walk very deliberately through the classroom holding one of the large serving spoons from the cafeteria to, I guess, pick it up off of the floor and flush it. And I always wondered if that spoon went back into circulation or what happened to it.
It did.
Did you do it?
No, I was not the pooper.
Do you know who was?
Who was the?
I don't think anybody came clean.
Of course not. That seems like the worst way to get somebody to come clean.
I was 4.
I wish that
Oh.
you could have blamed it on the dog and you blamed it on the goose.
Dog poop and human poop.
I mean, but then the dog would have had to been in the room with me,
Right.
You get the dog euthanized too.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
never. That was
You
my.
gotta protect the dog.
What
I would take
people?
the hit for the dog because I know that I wouldn't be sent somewhere else.
While we're in this book, would you guys like to see something cute? This is,
Well, you dressed up your dog for Halloween?
yeah. So we would always get a little so I made this. I learned how to sew one summer, and I found this magician's hat at a garage sale, and I learned how to sew, and I sewed the little top hat, and then I made the bottom part into a cape.
Oh,
Cute.
I'm sure your dog loved wearing clothes.
Honestly, I feel like she didn't really mind it, surprisingly. She was a little indifferent about it.
It's cool that you made.
Frequently, dogs just like attention.
Do you guys have
I
like
don't know about that. I don't think dogs like attention.
I think they.
Oh,
love
yeah.
I think dogs need attention.
They love attention. Yeah.
Dogs do generally like attention. Not every dog is the same, but generally they like attention.
Yeah, I was just joking.
I am so curious to hear your poop story, child. Your first poop. I can't imagine what it was like.
Who are you talking to?
Hot.
Oh,
You just shared.
Yeah, I just told a story.
Oh, I apologize.
You're like, I can't wait to hear it, and you already heard it.
Sorry about that.
how dare you?
Now,
Yeah.
you bring up an interesting question, though. Can you imagine other people's poop stories? Like, can you imagine? Max, I think, is the only one besides you who hasn't told. Can you imagine Max's poop story from when?
Can we imagine Max's poop story?
I can't even imagine Max pooping right now.
Did you just say you can imagine Max pooping right now?
I said I can't even imagine pooping
Well,
Max.
I don't think Max
I'm in
poop.
the toilet right now.
yeah, we wouldn't even have any idea.
Yeah, we would. We
With
would
that
see. We would
background,
see like a little porcelain part of the chair.
I don't know.
You don't
I think
see.
it's coming
You-
right up there.
Should
Yeah, I
we?
mean, if you could see part of my chair, you would see part of the chair, but you can't.
Yeah.
I would also like to look up the world's coolest bathroom.
You can do that. I might have to stop doing this show pretty soon because I have to wake up early and go to work.
Drop the kids off at the pool.
Yeah.
do you typically poop in the morning or at night or?
2:30 every day for Hot the
Yeah.
Cat.
Lately it's been 2:30. Though I usually also get a little one in the morning.
I'm vegetarian, so I feel like I poop twice a day.
It usually takes me like it's kind of an all day affair.
Longer than
It kind of
15
starts.
One
You need
one long
Oh,
poop the
yeah,
whole day.
like it just very slowly, like it starts emerging in the morning, and it takes until pretty much nightfall for it to finally drop.
Do you feel like you get a full clean movement though altogether, like added up?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, I almost choked.
I poop a lot. I'm with you.
Define a lie.
Twice a
Would you
day.
say that like volume or frequency?
Frequency.
Okay.
I think part of it is I just like that's the only place of peace I find in my day. I'm alone on the bowl, so I make it.
Alone in the bowl?
I'm with you for using bathrooms as a peaceful place, but that doesn't mean I can poop in them.
I might
Well, where
not
do you poop?
actually be pooping.
Well, I mean,
I might just be sitting there.
if I use a bathroom to escape the noise and hustle and bustle, it doesn't mean I'm pooping.
Yeah.
So if you're
But you
pooping every
poop exclusively in the bathroom.
What?
You do poop exclusively in the bathroom, though, just to.
I try to. I mean, sometimes you're outside hiking and you gotta poop.
I've
For
never
the majority of it,
Nature calls. That's another one.
There you go.
That's a good one.
yeah.
I realized we forgot all like the technical terms. So like poop, shit, deuce,
scat,
dump,
Scat.
dig a hole.
scat.
Ooh, scat. Scat, top
That's
notch.
a good one.
Yeah.
Cleveland
Eliminate.
hole, sit on the porcelain throne, wonder seat, pinch one off, dropping a load, unloading some brown boxes, laying a log, squirting
Spray mono.
food, frozen yogurt, using the outhouse, going to the bathroom, seeing a man about a dog, bowel movement, fecal matter, feces, nature calls, scat, doing your business.
Chocolate
You forget
shotgun.
Spraying guano.
Huh?
Spraying guano.
Chocolate shotgun is one that I have not heard.
No.
I've not,
Hershey's Curds.
Oh,
That is a specific
I did not devise this
specific
idea.
diarrheal. That's a diarrhea specific. That goes under the diarrhea umbrella.
ironically, when I started listing this, it ended up right next to shark.
Yeah, the diarrhea umbrella is a new invention of mine, by the way.
Underneath
Does it touch
that,
everything,
in the article, when they were describing like what diarrhea looks like, they used Jackson Pollock painting. Pretty interesting. Also, I feel like people who know what that looks like I feel like more people are familiar with what the poop looks like than the Jackson Pollock.
That's funny and a good observation.
So I'm gonna add making a Jackson Pollock. in your pants.
That's classy.
It's a
Yeah.
work of art.
It's a very classy way to talk
That's-
about diarrhea.
Yeah.
Is it though? I mean, that guy
Yes.
killed his wife drunk driving.
He did, and there was another woman in the car.
I mean, just compared to wait.
American culture.
I'm gonna say just because it's in the art world doesn't make it classy. Because
I
this
would
guy was
say-
a piece of shit.
I would argue that making a Jackson Pollock is far classier than chocolate shotgun.
Also, I
would
think
argue
that
that
Jackson.
Spraying guano.
Spraying
I think
guano,
that
yeah.
Jackson
think-
Pollock was one of the artists who was funded by the CIA.
Spraying what?
He was
They
a
didn't know they were
Guano.
funded by the CIA. The
Guano?
CIA was just buying
Yeah,
their art
guano.
anonymously.
I don't know what that
Where
means.
they would give money to rich people to buy art. It's not like the CIA was like, hey, Jackson Pollock, we're going to give you money to make art.
How is that spelled, Hot?
Just put it in the private chat.
It's spelled CIA.
I don't know. No.
It's C.
Balance. I'm talking.
Okay, I have to go. I should go to bed.
I think we should all go to bed.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea.
Oh boy.
Good night,
Oh,
everybody. Have
boy.
a nice night.
You too.
It's so good to see you, Max.
Yeah, same.
Have some
Thank
nice.
you for being here
Have
today.
good dreams. Can we all try to meet at the park in our dreams?
Oh, I thought you said we're gonna say balance something on our heads.
We can do that too.
Is that a euphemism for pooping? Or are you trying to meet?
No, there's a place in the dream space where we try to meet.
I don't.
Oh.
Wait, actually, you were in my dream as a penguin, but I know it's because I saw that penguin photo where it looked like you, and
I was a penguin?
yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like this penguin that had a mustache. I texted Garbanzo a picture of it, and
I texted
we were like,
a picture of it.
we were penguins, and we were like taking tiny steps on, like we had to take really tiny steps in order to get somewhere. But you were the lead penguin.
Wait, you were also a penguin show?
Yeah, but I had to like the way that like penguins walk. Let's type in Garbanzo. Where are you at? Here we go. Well, yeah, boy. Okay, so I saw this penguin, or I guess it's a pigeon, and why is this not showing up?
Balance. Like a goat up on a mountain talking balance. Equal when you count 'em talking balance. Like squirrel up on a power line. Don't fall to one side. You know we all face this challenge to keep our balance.
I would be proud. I am so humbled and happy that I am compared to that penguin.
It just reminded me of you because of your mustache. And then I dreamt about it was because we were on the show pretty late when I found that photo, and then I had thought to myself, why does this remind me of Garbanzo? And then I had a dream where we were penguins and you were like leading me on a ledge, and you were like a calming leader. I forgot to text you about that when I part of me was also nervous that you were gonna be like, I feel weird that I like saw that and thought of you. But I was like, oh well.
I'm
It's a pretty bad.
more than comfortable with that.
Cool. I've chosen easy thing to balance on my head.
What's on your head, Shelton?
Oh, that's
It's a rock? What was it?
Lens cap.
Ah.
Corny,
Close.
I know you can't see us, Corny, but we're all balancing things on our heads.
Okay, I am balancing my headset and hat.
Wow.
Garbanzo, or I mean hot. What do you have balanced on your head?
Did you just call somebody else your name?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to know. It seems like a speaker and then some sort of paper. Nope. Was.
It was a Bluetooth speaker,
I was correct.
and then
It's actually quite uncomfortable to keep this balance because I have to turn my neck to do so, but I'm going to do it for the
then
show.
it's one of these.
Oh, this makes me so uncomfortable.
It seemed like it would be a good thing to have around for this poop show.
I think it's time to go.
Are you ready to flush this episode?
Yeah. Oh God, that made me so
I think
uncomfortable.
it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, let's make that big.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's
So within the context of this show, it kind of looks like there's 4 poops next to each other.
I was thinking that it was like it looks like crystals, you know, like in like a, you know, like the way that quartz like when it like cracks in. It could be the way that it's glistening too.
Yeah, there's a lot of poop in this toilet.
There are artists who make work out of poop.
There are, yeah.
Not any art that I would buy.
All right, take me off big screen. I don't like to be big screen. Thank you.
I think it might be about time for us to hit the old dusty trail. I'm sorry that we never got around to watching you poop, Corny.
Well, I've got at least another 100 miles to go. So
You could just videotape it and we'll post it on the internet.
Please don't do that. Any other last euphemisms to add?
I'm feeling pretty wiped out, guys.
Is that one?
No.
Okay. All right.
It's clown passing in the no passing zone.
Passing.
I feel like that's generally to gas.
No, but like,
Yeah.
did you pass? Like a doctor has asked me that before.
Okay.
Get a different doctor.
I wouldn't trust that doctor.
You guys trust me Googling medical things today, so I'm sure it's okay.
I think it's time to go off into the darkness.
Thanks for talking about poop today, guys.
It's a beautiful way to end it.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Shelton, for bringing this topic and your enthusiasm for this topic to the show. I really was unsure that I was going to like this episode. But it was just a nice time hanging out with y'all. Pretty interesting talking about poop. It's a weird thing to talk about, but like, it's just poop. We all poop.
Everybody poops.
Everybody poops.
Nobody poops but you.
Nobody poops but you.
I like this.
You're the only one.
You're the only one. What's coming out behind you? I don't know.
was the high show. Thank you all for coming down. That was the high show. Thank you all for sticking around. Hope you had some fun, but now the show's done. So go on, get out.